With Master Rank 1 now achieved in Season 19, I am going to shift my focus in the final few hours of the Sunday before this festival closes in finishing up the last medals needed to get the Monster Type Festival 2023 title. You can see from our match history, we've been absolutely killing it. Haven't played too much of this event actually, because I didn't build Labyrinth until like halfway through the event and then started to play, but the custom Labyrinth deck was definitely the way to go, absolutely dominating the event. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of these matches before the event goes away forever. So these Labyrinth duels in the Monster Type Festival have been kind of neither here nor there. If you open up the setup with some way to get Coup Clock in hand, or already have your Coup Clock in hand and any furniture card, as long as you can get a Fiend on field, which you usually can since Coup Clock can special summon itself, usually leads to this opening combo where you get an instant pop with Lady Labyrinth of the opponent's hand. This opponent was smart though, saving their Imperm for the lovely if I said lady, I meant lovely, but anyways, lovely, so that I can't actually end up resetting my big welcome. However, because my opening hand was so strong, I am going to be able to eventually just trigger off all of these effects anyways, and when the opponent goes battle phase, you can see how I'm able to play around evenly matched, popping my own cards, triggering my effects, saving my cards with the big welcome in the graveyard, and then I still get all of my resources back with the furniture cards in rotation. The opponent's going to attempt to set up something here, but again, just having the Coup Clock and furniture in rotation instantly shuts that down, and I think the opponent at this point is going to realize that I'm just out resourcing them, and they end up scooping it up. That's the power going first of Labyrinth, and that's why I think some people are a little frustrated with the way that this event went down. In this matchup here, going second, once again, it doesn't matter because we've got the Coup Clock and furniture combination. This is absolutely insane. The opponent starts off with a Fright per Patchwork, getting an Edge Imp and Polymerization to hand, so they're probably on some kind of Despia setup. On the activation of Polymerization, we activate Coup Clock, and the opponent actually Herald of the Orange lights it, but then that turns their Polymerization off because it fizzled it. I guess all they had left in hand was the Edge Imp, and I think once they realized they made that misplay, they just end up surrendering. So in this matchup, we're going first, and we have Ariana and Furniture. So if the Ariana resolves, you already know that it's going to grab the Coup Clock to enable that OP play that I talked about in the beginning. And again, this is basically what the event turned into, kind of just, I guess you can call it like lovely turbo, I don't know. But after we see that it resolves, we're going to go ahead and activate the Prosperity, grab the second piece of Furniture because these cards are absolutely busted. We're going to end up pitching double Furniture here, which, you know, you can argue if it's a good decision or not, but since we already have Welcome in hand, like it's kind of irrelevant. We don't need to double set. So yeah, once again, we're going to be able to set up a pretty strong field, pop a card in the opponent's hand, and they kind of reveal that they're on the loner deck since we popped the Fair Welcome Labyrinth, and you would never play that card unless you were playing the loner. So once the opponent sees that we get the OP setup, they just end up scooping on turn 0. So these duels have been pretty fast so far, and if anything, this video is serving as a documentary on how the event kind of went down. So I know Konami watches this video, kind of see how it went and some realistic data around how people are feeling with the event, what you're actually seeing in the event, how people are scooping, what combos are too powerful, what decks were too powerful, etc. So this opponent, again, clearly on the loner deck, and these are like Diamond and Master opponents, right? Like, I'm in Master 1 when I'm playing these matches, so you know, they're just trying out Labyrinth, see if they want to build it. And the loner deck was strong. I have a couple videos on it, but it really is no match for a custom built Labyrinth version where you can run things like Ice Dragon Prison and Impermanence, the Pot of Extravagances, and etc. So this opponent, you know, no slouch. They know what they're doing. They're getting some decent setups going here, but we're just plowing through, and I'm on like, I don't even know, like a 5 or 6 win streak. And the games that I lose are usually just like games where my opening hand is not nearly as good as the opponent's. Like in this instance, they see the Ice Dragon Prison, and against the loner deck, it's so tough to play around, and this guy just ends up surrendering. So some of these event-specific combos are relevant for actual ranked mode, especially in the lower ranks, but in the higher ranks, you will obviously build the deck differently, given that you're not under the same limitations. So going first, Pot of Extravagance, and then Ariana, grabbing Furniture, of course, because like I said, Coup Clock and Furniture is just like instant OP overpower. The opponent does reveal Silver Castle, which is pretty strong because it's going to allow them to get a free set spell or trap off of the activation of my trap card here. So they know what we're going for, obviously, being the last day of the event. Everyone's played this event, they know what to expect now. We actually go for Labyrinth, the field spell, because whatever they end up setting, since I already have Big Welcome, I'm just going to pop it with the field spell, making sure that they're on nothing here, right? So we're going to go ahead, bring out Lovely, pop Coup Clock back to hand, pop the set card with Labyrinth, and now Lovely will be able to actually pop the Silver Castle if we want, or a card in the opponent's hand. Before we can even decide what we want to do, the opponent just ends up scooping. because they realize that we have full setup, and if they don't have evenly matched, and even if they do, you've seen us play around it, like, I mean, I'm not going to be able to play around it with this hand, but yeah, they just end up scooping anyways. So this matchup is an example of a hand that isn't the greatest. We do have furniture, but we don't have any other real extenders, so we're just going to have to pitch Lovely, which is a good discard there, but the opponent reveals that they are indeed on something that they can set up, which isn't great for us. So we set and pass. The opponent opts not to use their coup clock there to activate the big welcome, which is a mistake, but hey, we'll take those. They summon Ariana. So like I'm thinking they're on the loner deck and they set Compulse, so I'm like, yeah, they're probably on the loner deck. They do get out the Lovely, and I know again that there's only one of this in the deck, so if I can get rid of it permanently, they can't bring out another one, whereas in my custom version I play 2. So we're gonna go ahead and get up to Chain Link 7, I think, there, and end up again Ice Dragon Prison, so OP, getting rid of the Silver Castle. Unfortunately, we did not pop the Lovely, so maybe a mistake there. Yeah, I should have probably tried to get the Lovely off field, but I guess I couldn't, right, because I can't target the Silver Castle. Anyways, the opponent ends up with a decent setup, field spell, and I believe one Compulse and Welcome Labyrinth trap card, right? So I'm kind of playing on the back foot as well, but I do have, you know, somewhat of an engine rolling here. We draw into a second Chandelier. The opponent is going to activate their Welcome Labyrinth to get Silver Castle. We're going to go ahead and bring out Lovely here. Unfortunately, we can't get this Silver Castle off field, but they do end up using their Compulse to trigger their Silver Castle. They're going to get their furniture back as well, and they end up setting, I think that was a big welcome, or was it a regular? It was a regular welcome, huh? Okay, interesting. But yeah, the field spell, again, I know it's a 1-of, so I get rid of it there off the pop, and then we're going to go ahead and activate Chandelier. They're going to chain and activate their Stovey Torby. They set big welcome, so we know they got big welcome and welcome. We're going to go ahead and search out Labyrinth, then main phase 1 finally resolves here. We're going to activate the field spell, then trigger off the Welcome Labyrinth since we activated Coup Clock, and we are going to bring out Lady in attack mode. We're just going to crash because I'm going to put you on, you have one Welcome Labyrinth, good luck. I made a mistake not special summoning this, but hey, I didn't use my normal summon, so I just normal summon it anyways, and I do this so that I have a card to bounce back off of Big Welcome. They top deck Ariana, which is crazy, then they use Big Welcome to bounce it, and I did make a mistake. I should have definitely chained Big Welcome of my own to pop their Ariana so they couldn't get it back to hand, and that way none of their furniture was going to trigger. I totally forgot about the furniture triggering and the Welcome Labyrinth triggering. That would have just kept them on Silver Castle and their Welcome Labyrinth trap card. So I made a mistake there by letting the Ariana resolve, the Big Welcome resolve to bounce the Ariana, because now they get everything else in rotation. So Lovely will trigger now after everything goes off, and I will get all of my furniture in rotation. They set Fair Welcome Labyrinth, and I'm like, okay, that's totally fine because my Lovely will pop your Welcome Labyrinth. So at this point, the opponent is on only one Big Welcome left in the graveyard, and all of their Welcome Labyrinth extensions are shut down. We do have obviously Field Spell and double Welcome Labyrinth cards available. The opponent is going to chain and bounce their own Lovely here, Lady, which is interesting. I'm going to go ahead and bring out Silver Castle, and then I'm going to activate Lovely and the furniture because I'm going to pop the card in the opponent's hand. So a couple of weird decisions that ultimately led to the opponent's demise, but I don't think there was anything they could really do since we had complete control of the match anyways, and this is just OTK now on board. So GG's to the opponent. With the loner deck, I guess there really is only so much you can do, and if your opponent already has a full setup game, in my case, which is what I had, it's pretty much impossible to come back and win. So this was the final match that I needed to play in order to get to the 22,000 medals. The opponent ends up going first, activating Chandelier to set Big Welcome. Whenever they pitch Ariane, I just assume that they're on the loner deck. So they set 3 others and pass. We're going to go ahead and activate everything in the end phase here, Coup Clock and then Furniture, so that we get the Coup Clock to special summon, setting the Big Welcome off the Chandelier, then activating Big Welcome, bringing back out the Lovely that we ended up discarding, and now we're going to be able to bounce the Coup Clock back to hand, trigger both Lovely to pop a card on the field. We pop the Big Welcome that they set and get the Chandelier back to hand. So overall, we are net nothing basically, because off of, if this Lovely stays on field in the main phase 1, off Lovely, we're going to be able to reset Big Welcome, which is exactly what we do here. And just like that, you know, we have so much more advantage than the opponent. Now they're going to go ahead and bring out their own Lovely off Welcome, which again, should have probably brought out Silver or Ariana to search Silver, but they knew what they were doing. They activate Compulse to compulse away my Lovely, but I mean, you waited till main phase 1, so I already resolved the effect to reset a card, but I can't activate it unless I have, I think it's a Labyrinth card on field, or a Fiend, I don't remember. But yeah, Labyrinth field spell is now up, and the opponent's going to trigger some effects here, so they're going to pop our field spell and get their Chandelier back, which is totally fine. I'm just going to set 2 and pass. I did misplay, right, I think, because I think I activated Chandelier here before Coup Clock or something like that. If not, if I didn't do that yet, I do make a misplay, and I realize it like the second I do it. I'm like, oh shoot, I did it in the wrong order. But yeah, the opponent is going to attempt to trigger off some effects here. We're going to chain the Ice Dragon. They're forced now to chain Compulse to save their Lovely. So we're not going to obviously bounce back their own Arianta hand. So we end up just triggering off some effects here. And yeah, we've got more or less full setup now. Destroy a card in the opponent's hand. Unfortunately, we popped a Lovely. Now they go main phase 1, and they top deck Ariana crazy. They have Welcome set and Big Welcome, but that's all they can do. In end phase, we're going to go ahead and set Welcome off of Chandelier, and we're going to be able to special summon back out the Coup Clock, which is probably a mistake because I can't bounce it to hand. So yeah, slight misstep on my part. They're going to activate Welcome. We're going to chain Silver Castle, and I think the opponent just realizes that I'm just too far ahead in the resource game, and so they just end up scooping it up, and that was the final match I needed to get to 22,000 medals. With the custom Labyrinth deck, you can see that it was very easy to breeze through this event. I think it was less than an hour. You saw how fast those matches went for me to complete the last 5 wins that I needed. I included some other matches, I think, as well from whatever I could still play back. But yeah, Heavy Storm Duster was decent throughout the event, even though I don't think I showcased it in that matchup. And you know, the Imperms, again, I don't even think I drew Imperms, but obviously the big MVP was Ice Dragon's Prison. So this card can come in seriously clutch. And in rank ladder, if we ever play with this in you know, trying to go to master or something, this card, you know, beats Tearlaments, helps beats Branded, right, Bystials, etc., or forcing out Bystial interruptions if they don't want to get their dragons banished. And then obviously just the welcome Labyrinth cards are the heart and soul of the deck, right? So Konami, you know, if you want Labyrinth to stick around, don't limit these cards like you did with Floanderies, because this is the engine of the deck. It's what makes the deck good, okay? I'm sure you know that, but I just wanted to state it for the record there. Anyways, that's going to wrap it up for this video, guys. If you've enjoyed it, a like would be appreciated. Drop a comment in the comment section below. Thank you again for watching and supporting the videos. Quantum is out.